A lot of the information that young people get is from their peers. Well, I would say probably 50% of the time is not the correct information.
I learned about sex from my friends talking at school.
A lot of my friends get it from TV and what they see in the media, which is horrible because media romanticizes sex and they just make it seem like it's this wonderful experience to have and it's so cool.
And people talk about it on Twitter, I've heard, on Facebook, and posting pictures and stuff.
And what you thought about when you were 16 might not be what the teens are thinking about today.
It's hard to get through teens. I mean, myself, we're just stubborn. We can't help it, we're just stubborn. We just don't want to listen, so we gotta learn the hard way.
I think the biggest reason teens get pregnant because they don't know information. Like, they don't know to protect themselves against pregnancy, or they don't know how to protect themselves.
A lot of the girls in high school have, gotten pregnant and had kids, and their lives have turned upside down.
I walk down those hallways all the time, and I see people pregnant all the time.
I know somebody that was pregnant, and she was 15, but she had an abortion.
I'm not trying to be mean, but I know a couple teens who want to get pregnant on purpose.
A lot of teen girls walk around with pregnant bellies, and it worries you because, what's wrong with our community? The fact that there's so many girls out there like that, what are we doing wrong?
I do see a lot of teens think that, oh, I didn't think this can happen to me. I think that's a stupid idea, but it can happen to anybody.
The bandwagon thing, if my friend's doing it and they haven't gotten any type of disease, nor have they gotten pregnant, then I'll be able to do it and it won't happen to me either.
Because you're gonna do it and you're gonna have sex, most teens.
One of my teen friends, she didn't know what to do or where to go or how to approach her mom about it. Because you're only 15 and you're pregnant, it's like, how are you gonna tell your mom, Mommy, I'm pregnant? That's hard to do.
The teen parents that I know, it's really rough. Of course, when you see the baby, you're like, oh, it's so cute. But the work and the effort that actually has to be put in it is a lot, as far as not being able to go out with my friends and, their friends, and working all the time in order to provide for the child. And then there's also some problems with fathers as well.
Some of the guys walk out because they don't want that responsibility. It's too big of a responsibility. They're only 16, they can't get a job. And if they do, they're just gonna get paid minimum wage. That's not gonna support you and the child and the mother, diapers, food, and everything like that. My mom was a teen mom, and she was real smart, so she told me herself all her struggles she went through, and I didn't wanna go through that. And most of my friends are teen moms, so I see how they cope with it, and it sort of affects me to see how they struggle with it because they have a lot of potential and how it just doesn't go to waste, but they're not using all their potential, I guess.
I think kids are scared to talk to their parents about teen pregnancy.
They feel like their parents are gonna judge them and think that they're gonna have sex if they ask questions about it, and they feel awkward.
And I think that's the reason why teen pregnancy is so high, because kids ask their parents, what is sex? And the parents get scared and don't answer. So then they go out and explore themselves.
It's such a sensitive topic, and I think parents are they don't want to seem like they're promoting their child to, giving them the okay to have sex. And I guess the teens don't want to, sort of kind of tell their parents that, they have questions.
They just have questions. They want to be informed so they maybe can help their friends.
So I'd encourage parents and adults to actually get the confidence to sit their child down and actually have the conversation, as well as don't come off aggressive.
Just to be calm and don't assume that they're having sex, and just explain everything to them so that they know.
They're kids, they have questions, and I feel like when you shut them out, it makes them want to file, I'll figure out my own, and that's why teens get pregnant, because parents aren't answering the questions that the kids have. So I feel like just to answer all the questions, be open.
Go in knowing that if my child does say that they're having sex, then I don't need to start yelling and getting upset, but I need to stay calm and make it really comfortable for my child to talk to me.
My mom and I are very close, and we have talks about sex or things of that nature quite often. We just keep it open, and I'm very lucky because a lot of my friends don't have that kind of closeness to their parents at all. And I feel like everybody should have that kind of opportunity because it's very helpful, you know. I'm very fortunate to have that kind of communication with her because it helps me not do stuff because I know the reality of things, you know.
You were a teen, so you know how we think, but we don't want to be judged. We want to be supported. Don't judge me just because I go buy condom or because I'm pregnant. Help me, guide me, be my guide on to make the right choices. Just be supportive.
The child's brain is developing, their decision making is not fully developed, and they need to hear those messages over and over again from different people.
And you just have to remember that you can't be judgmental. Be open to whatever they're asking, and if you don't know the answer, it's okay to say you don't know. Go figure out the answer together. Go research it together. Go to the internet and pull up an answer together.
You have to educate them as to how they're thinking to whether or not they want to have sex. Give me a logical reason for why this is more important than your future.
I want my daughter to be equipped with knowledge so that she can make the best choices for herself. I know that I'm not always going to be there literally looking over her shoulder every moment of her life.
There are people who are afraid that if you teach kids about sex, then they're gonna go out and do it. And the research has shown just the opposite. It turns out that if you teach kids about sex, they're more likely to wait.
It's hard to talk about teen pregnancy. It's hard to talk about what leads up to teen pregnancy, which is sex. We don't want to admit that that's happening. But if we don't have a full, frank, and honest conversation about it, then we're not going to solve the problem. You can't fix a problem if you don't stare directly at its face and then say, these are the issues.
Remember that they are coming into adulthood. They're trying to learn how to navigate all of this, negotiate their feelings, and the choices that they're making. What we want to do is to help them to make good choices, healthy choices. And we can't do that if we cut off the communication.
Parents often, go through these issues alone, and they don't need to feel that they're alone in this. Get with other parents, talk about the issue. How are you dealing with it? Gain pointers. We're going to be powerful as parents, as community workers, as educators, and we can make a difference in our community.